not trying to be purposefully weird. I'm just trying to check if it fogs in my glasses. And it doesn't. Woo woo! If you would have told me a year ago that someday I was going to be obsessed with collecting masks, I was going to make one for every season and get so excited when I found a new print, I totally would not have believed you. But 2020 has been a doozy, am I right? In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a 3D mask with a nose and chin covering without using a pattern. Hi, I'm Nikita, and welcome to my channel, where this is what I do. I drink and I sew things. Today I'm drinking an old-fashioned, which I think I mentioned in a previous video. It's my go-to wintertime drink. It's not technically wintertime, but I'm getting ready for the season. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I swear this is my first one of these. All right, without further ado, let's sew a mask. You're gonna need 3 pieces of quilting cotton, 10 inches by 7 inches. This is gonna be the front of my mask, and this is gonna be the lining. I'm doing 2 pieces of lining because I believe that 3-layer mask is still the recommendation. You're gonna need 2 pieces of elastic for the ear loops. You're also going to want a rotary cutter. The first thing that you need to do is stack all 3 pieces on top of each other. Then you are going to take a ruler, a measuring tape, or I'm using one of these like quilting rulers. From each corner, mark 2 inches down. 2 inches, 2 inches. You're going to connect those 2 lines, and you can either draw a line and then cut it, but since I'm using a rotary cutter, I'm just gonna cut it. You're gonna repeat that for the other 3 corners. Always make sure your drink is nearby. These masks are really easy to make lots of, as you can see. You just bulk cut the fabric, and then when you are placing them right sides together, because I'm using 3 layers, I'm putting the top layer upside down, the second layer right side up, and the third layer, it doesn't matter. It could be upside down or right side up. Now, when you are cutting the corners off, you can place lots of layers of fabric together as long as you make sure that they line up and are square. You can cut lots of layers at the same time. Now you're going to take your pieces and put them right sides together, and let's pin it. Normally my projects are a 1/2 inch seam allowance, but this one is going to be just a 1/4 inch. So you're going to sew from, you're going to sew from one mark down here at the bottom, all the way around, making sure to put your needle down and pivot at the corners. And you're going to stop here, leaving about a 3-inch gap so that you can turn the mask right side out. Let's go sew it. We're going to use a straight stitch and a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Remember, it's very important that you keep your drink close to your sewing machine. Make sure you forward and back stitch, and then go all the way around. Clip your threads. The next step is very important. You can't forget it. Take a drink. Now you're ready for the next step. The next step is to take the corners, and we want them to look nice when we flip out our mask. So you're just going to trim them using your scissors straight across. It trims off the extra fabric. Be very careful not to actually clip the seam. If you can hear that noise in the background, it's the baby monitor from watching my daughter. Now take your mask and flip it right side up. Use your fingers to pull apart, not too hard. Press open the seams and push into the corners. We will make them look extra nice here in just a second. I like to take a pen, closed, of course, or the eraser end of a pencil and gently work it into the corners. I say gently so you don't pop a seam. It just makes them look a little bit nicer. I just want to show you real quick, if you're doing a 3 layered one, when you open it up, there's this hole right here, and then there's this hole right here. The one that you want to open when you're churning right side out are the ones where the two right sides are touching. I have a wrong side and a right side, so I know that that's not the one I want to turn out. This is a right side and a right side, so this is the one I'm going to turn out. Now get your iron. Just waiting for it to heat up. Take a drink while you wait for it to heat up. It's nice and hot, nice and spicy. Okay, now just go ahead and press the seams flat. Now this little open side here, you're gonna turn it under 1/4 inch, same as your seam allowance. You're gonna press that flat too. Now you can pin this if you want, but I find with this cotton, pressing it actually works just fine. Now you are going to top stitch really close to the edge here on the bottom and also here on the top. Let's go do that. Now take your mask and flip it over. You're going to fold it down until it meets this corner right here, see? And then we're gonna press it. Now you have this nice little crease straight across from point to point. And then we're gonna do the same with these 2 points here. So now this is what it looks like with these creases here. So fold in the top and fold in the bottom. You are going to top stitch again using the same seam allowance that you did here, so lining up to the inside of your presser foot, and you're going to sew from this corner to this corner and this corner to this corner. Make sure that you remember to backstitch, it's very important. Make sure that you remember your drink, that's also very important. So if you open it up, it kind of looks like this. I know it looks a little bit weird right now, but we are going to add the elastic right now. Now we need to make the little sleeves for the elastic. So you're gonna put your elastic on the edge of your mask and you're gonna fold the mask over probably about 1/2 inch. And then you are going to pin it. So do the same to the other side. Now take this to your sewing machine and sew as close to the edge as you can, making sure that you forward and back stitch on both sides. Also make sure that your elastic can move freely. Now you're going to take your elastic and you're going to put it together. And you can make it overlap as much or as little as you want. And this is how we're going to adjust the size of the ear loops. So I am going to overlap it about 3/4 inch. And you can pin this, or I'm just going to place it right under my sewing machine like right now. And then just stitch back and forth over it a couple of times. I sewed back and forth over it 3 times. And it looks kind of gross right now. Now it looks a little less gross that I trimmed my threads, but just wait. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Magic. Can't even see it. And now you have an ear loop. Now do the exact same thing to the elastic on the other side. Make sure you try to overlap it the same amount. Also make sure, I almost just did this. Make sure that you don't twist it when you're sewing it, otherwise it will be forever twisted. If you have finished working with the elastic, you should take a drink because elastic can be difficult. Cheers to you. Now it looks like this. Grab these 2 middle parts and pull them so the mask kind of folds in half. And then you're just gonna help it fold in half. By working it, pulling this up a little, pull this down a little, flatten it. Then one last time, I'm gonna use my iron. Ta-da! And now you finish your mask. You can pull it up over your nose, you can pull it down over your chin to kind of adjust it. Man, it's hard to take a drink with these things on. Well, if you stuck around this long, I'd appreciate if you like and subscribe, and then stick around so that you can drink along and sew along with me on my next video. Thanks for watching.